Good morning, friends. A very small project in today, and not a guitar I've seen much of in my time. In fact, it's the first time I've had one of these guitars in, and it's a classical, and it's an Alvarez. So made in China Alvarez. We're an American company. Handcrafted guitar. This, I believe, is a anniversary series, 50th anniversary series, 1965-2015. Model number AC65CE, with CE standing for, I imagine, cedar top and electrics. Now, I've been online and read a bit about these guitars, and I do believe that they are a mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard, or is it Pal Ferro? It could be a Pal Ferro fingerboard, and a cedar top. Very nice guitar. So what's wrong with it? Well, the answer to that is nothing. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just the owner says the action is too high. And yeah, the action is high, but it's how they're meant to be on these kind of guitars. But it says it's too high. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to lower the action. That is all I am going to do. And to lower the action, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to remove the strings, going to remove the saddle, and I'm going to take 2mm off the bottom of the saddle. Or I'm going to replace the saddle with a new one, because I do have a piece of bone that I bought for a guitar last year by Hosco, Japanese company. Doesn't mean it's Japanese bone, but I have a piece of bone there, and if the thickness is right, I will cut a new saddle and I will make it just about 2mm shorter than this one, maybe 2.5mm, and that will bring the 12 fret strings down by, if I remove 2mm off the end, it'll drop 1mm in the middle, and that might make things a little bit easier. Wouldn't really want to go much lower than that, and that will give an action of about 3mm. That's as low as you'd want to go. I'm not going to touch the nut at all, because I think the nuts are meant to be high on these. What is a bit of a pain for me is tuning these things back in, because I think you're stretching these strings forever, it seems. I've always disliked classical guitars with a passion, nylon strung guitars, because they are a bind to tune in, because you're forever stretching the strings until you've got them where you need them to be. And normally when you're doing that, when you go and snap one. So it's not a guitar I'd play anyway myself, but the thing is, at the end of the day, it's the client's guitar. It's a beautiful looking thing, it's a very well made guitar, and I've been paid to sort it out, so sort it out I will. So I'm going to crack on, cut this piece of bone to size, and then I'll dress it, make the height right and everything, and we'll replace the saddle in here. There's not really much point me showing you me doing any work, because all I'm going to do is stick down a vise, get a Dremel on it, shape it, put it in the hole, and put strings back on. That really is as much as I can do, so check back later. And there we go. And removing the original saddle is as simple as just loosening the strings enough to get this to slide under and pulling this out. And I'll show you how this works. Basically, the pickup is just one strip beneath the saddle, and the saddle sits right on there. And all I need really to do is, this is a piece of bone as well, find out which is the top, which obviously is this one, because there is a slant going that way towards the strings for the string angle. And all I'm going to have to do is basically pencil in the shape of this. Actually, I'm not going to replace, I don't think I'm going to replace the nut or the saddle, because this is too thick and I've got no way of thinning this other than sanding it, and that will take me about 3 hours. So I am going to remove material from the bottom of the original saddle. So plan change, I don't have an alternative way to do this. So I'm going to put the saddle back in, make sure I can remove the amount of material I want to remove. I'll give it a measure. I would remove, basically, I'm looking at about 2mm, absolute maximum. I probably won't want to go that much on the far side, so I'm going to remove about 1.5mm off the far side, 2mm off the near side or the base side. I'll just get a caliper on there and see what's what. I'll come back and let you know what I do in a while. And there we are, and it's done. And I'll tell you now, I could not go any lower than I have done there. Look at that saddle. Could not go lower than that. I didn't go with the bow knot in the end because it was too wide and I have nothing to thin it with. It would have meant doing it by hand, it would take me hours and I'd have to charge more for it. So I did have a brand new Alvarez resin saddle for an acoustic guitar, which I took the top off, I filed down, I've reshaped, and I've stuck that in instead because I wanted to leave the original bone saddle, because if a guy wants to sell this guitar, he can put this back in, because I've got the action low, and this is low for a classical guitar, and it's about 2.5 mil at the 12th fret round about here, but you're not going to get lower than that. But you can't, because the saddle is virtually as low as I would want to take it. So I've told the owner that this is more or less, I wouldn't call that a permanent fix, because I would like to stick a bone nut in there. The only reason I've not put a bone nut in there is because I don't have a thin enough piece of bone, and it's too late to order one because he's using the guitar this week. But I'm going to say, I'm going to do this job a little bit cheaper, and I'm going to say when you've got time, we'll put an original bone one in there. And I'll do that cheap as well. So, you know, he's getting a good deal on that. But yeah, fantastic. The action is as low as I can get it. That saddle is as low as I can get it. And if that's not low enough, then that's it. This guitar is not for him. So here we go. Alvarez AC65CE guitar. Just add a new saddle put in there. I've carved it by hand, by the way, on the bench over there using various files. Took quite a while. I've not charged anywhere near as much as I ought to charge, but I'm not too bothered about that. End of the day, it's a new client, he's going to go away happy, he's going to play the guitar, and hopefully it's going to last him a while until he can come back and we can get a bone one put in there. So, this is me, Victor Christian. I'm your fret friend. Just before I go, remind you of my website address, which is facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I cover all Nottingham areas. I am your fret friend, and until next time, boys and girls, so another one wrapped up, ready to go. So until the next time, as always, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.